we didn't have a sell in May and go away. We didn't have a June swoon. We're breaking all of the old adages. Take us through some of the key takeaways from the stacks report.
Yeah, I think you stated a couple of them. I think one of the biggest ones that I saw was that it was mid-month when we saw a little bit of a pullback in some of the semiconductor and memory chip stocks that led to some of the heaviest buying that we've seen in a while. Advancers or net buys versus net sells, kind of way to look at it, was over 2.5 to 1 for the month. So it was not just some discriminate buying, but there was good flows specifically into tech, consumer discretionary, communication services. So the growth sectors, and the 3 stocks that saw the most buying interest, the new one on the list, because it's a new one being publicly traded, is SpaceX was number 1, Marley, Nvidia, and then Micron rounded out the top 3 buys, and the top 3 sells were one that I don't know if I've seen on the list before, and that's Berkshire B. United Health was number 2, and then Snow was number 3. So, yeah, interesting list. Just an interesting makeup this month.
And Joe, you highlighted there that Schwab clients were net buyers more than 2 to 1. I thought that was fascinating, especially just because of the month that we're talking about, with us talking about June. What is giving, in your opinion, or what's the data telling you, giving retail investors the confidence to keep putting money to work right now with the backdrop that we have? And we have a more hawkish Fed. We've got a lot of concerns about inflation. We've got high volatility.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to kind of frame that, because you would think that would probably serve as some headwinds for some of the higher beta technology names, but that was not the case. I think if anything, going back to the way that I kind of prefaced this by looking at that pullback that we saw kind of mid-month, and it wasn't a substantial pullback, but you saw stocks like Micron, SanDisk, some of the memory chip makers kind of pull back to some of those moving averages. I think the 21-day EMA was an important one for Micron, because that's where we saw a decent amount of dip buying step in there. Same thing with Nvidia. And these were stocks. Nvidia is traditionally one of the top 5 on the net buys, but Micron has been a newer entrant. And then, SpaceX, I think there was just a lot of demand kind of built up around that IPO, and whether you saw it through the equity market or even through the options market, there was interesting activity there. Marley, I think some things that caught my eye was just looking at the difference between how traders implemented options on the index or ETFs relative to what they did on the single stocks. With the ETFs, we saw a lot of premium buying. So you saw call buying, spread buying, so on and so forth. But on the individual names, investors took a different tact. Basically, what they did is we saw a lot more put selling, premium selling as a way for them to maybe take advantage of some of those dips and some of those higher spikes in implied volatility on those names.
I want to dive into these pullbacks and the dip buying, because we saw a little bit of a different change in behavior, and it's one I think we've been talking more and more about too, with them with the mid-month pullback, buying those dips as opposed to chasing some of the rallies. So I guess I have a couple questions. One, are you viewing this as the new retail playbook? Because each month we're talking more and more about this trend becoming more prevalent. And my second one is, does it indicate to you that these investors have more conviction, Joe, or does it indicate that there's just sort of a general confidence that every sell-off is going to be bought, because that is the trend we've been observing over the last couple months?
Yeah, let me start with the first one. I think one of the things that kind of is standing out is the idea that the buying, while it was 2.5 to 1 times the net selling, it wasn't across the board. So I don't think it's just buy the dip in everything. I think it's buy the dip in some selective names where they're seeing opportunities. And some of the stocks are on the list, they had 10, 15, 20% pullbacks during the month. So I think that they're selective in their buying, and I think they're looking for opportunities. A perfect example, I'll go back to to Micron again, where heading into earnings, that stock had pulled back in advance of that, and then after earnings it jumped before pulling back again. So we'll see kind of what happens as we progress further throughout the month here. I think with the second part, what I believe is happening here is that you're seeing you're seeing investors, look for certain type of stocks, and these are growth stocks that are maybe trading at what they consider, potentially reasonable prices given some of the growth metrics that we've seen. Maybe the IPO being maybe outside of those parameters a little bit, but just look at some of the potential growth numbers, whether it's Nvidia, Micron. These are the ratios that some of these stocks are trading at, whether it's a price to earnings or a PEG ratio. These are in some of the lower quartiles that we've seen in a while. I think the key fixture there, Marley, is you have to believe in the growth story, and I think that's what investors, our clients are showing right now, is their belief in that growth story, and that they feel like it's going to carry forward, and they're looking for those pockets of opportunity as opposed to just kind of just throwing money at any sector. They're really concentrating on areas where they can find that growth.
Nvidia stock moved higher on Monday, but it continued to lag the overall semiconductor rise as investors remained skeptical about the company's ability to grab the next wave of artificial intelligence infrastructure investment. In early trade, the stock increased 0.5% to $195.86, trailing the overall semiconductor sector. The iShares Semiconductor ETF rose 4.3%, driven by a 10% increase in Western Digital and an 8% increase in Teradyne. Advanced Micro Devices rose about 10%, while Intel rose around 6%. Marvell Technology and Oracle were also trading higher. Despite still being the major producer of AI graphics chips, Nvidia has failed to keep up with other semiconductor stocks in recent months. Investor focus has shifted to memory chips, central processing units, semiconductor equipment manufacturers, and custom AI silicon, with many market participants wondering whether future artificial intelligence spending will be spread across a wider range of companies, rather than concentrated primarily on Nvidia. Despite the fact that enthusiasm for AI infrastructure remains high across the semiconductor business, Nvidia has underperformed many of its peers as a result of this shift. To add to investor anxiety, research firm SemiAnalysis stated that Nvidia's next-generation Kyber rack scale architecture has been delayed by more than a year. According to the article, Kyber, which is supposed to house Nvidia's Rubin Ultra CPUs, is now scheduled to ship in 2028 rather than 2027. The rack scale system aims to combine 144 of Nvidia's most sophisticated chips into a single computing system for AI tasks. SemiAnalysis stated that the delay is due to manufacturing problems with a vital printed circuit board utilized in the architecture. The Kyber NVL144 rack architecture has been delayed until 2028 due to manufacturing challenges with the PCB midplane, according to the research firm. The rumored delay is the latest in a string of issues affecting Nvidia's next-generation product pipeline. However, the firm has not commented on the report. Despite Nvidia's recent underperformance, Goldman Sachs retained its buy rating and set a $285 price target. According to the investment bank, investors will likely focus on several key issues in the coming quarters, including potential upside to Nvidia's previously outlined $1 trillion data center opportunity, growth in the company's server CPU business driven by agentic AI, competitive dynamics in the AI infrastructure market, and gross margin trends as component costs rise. Goldman Sachs anticipates Nvidia to post a beat-and-raise quarter, driven by favorable industry supply and demand trends. However, the firm acknowledged that expectations remain high and the bar for meaningful stock outperformance is high. According to Goldman Sachs, Nvidia's value now trades at a significant discount to historical levels as a result of the stock's recent underperformance. The firm believes the shares could command a higher valuation multiple if hyperscalers improve profitability while continuing to invest heavily in AI infrastructure, enterprise adoption of agentic AI accelerates, and investors gain more visibility into deployments outside of the company's traditional customer base. Goldman Sachs also boosted its earnings estimates by around 12% on average, with new calendar year 2026 and 2027 forecasts that are 14% and 34% higher than broader Wall Street expectations. The bank expects further earnings estimate revisions and multiple expansion to support Nvidia shares over the next 12 months, noting that the company has still generated a 78% return over the past year while delivering revenue growth of 65% despite recent underperformance relative to the broader semiconductor industry. Nvidia begins the second half of 2026 under increasing pressure to maintain both its market supremacy and investor trust. While the business remains the world's largest by market value, its stock has underperformed numerous semiconductor peers this year as investors shift their focus to the artificial intelligence (AI) supply chain. The company continues to benefit from the high demand for AI chips. However, questions are arising about Nvidia's ability to maintain its supremacy as its top customers develop alternative technology and Apple closes the market value gap. Nvidia has remained the world's most valuable publicly traded business by market capitalization for 258 straight days after recovering the top spot from Microsoft in late June of last year. Although the streak is one of the longest this century, it is still well below Apple's longest period as market leader. Between 2013 and 2018, Apple topped the charts for 1,344 days in a row. Furthermore, Apple is bridging the gap, with a $4.53 trillion valuation following a 13% increase in 2026. Nvidia's market value is at $4.72 trillion, up only 3% this year. Nvidia has maintained a continuous rate of technological progress by upgrading its AI chips on a yearly basis. The company aims to launch large quantities of its latest Vera Rubin hardware in the second half of the year. It is also branching out outside data center chips, with a newly announced CPU geared at the consumer PC market. Over time, Nvidia is looking to developing markets such as robotics. However, greater commercial adoption could help alleviate investor concerns about the sustainability of the AI investment cycle. On the manufacturing front, Nvidia has mostly avoided major production hiccups. The company continues to invest in key suppliers while establishing long-term agreements for vital components such as memory chips. Chief Executive Officer Jensen Huang has also struck a compromise between political demands for further investment in the United States and obtaining production capacity from Taiwan's semiconductor production. Nvidia is increasingly pursuing a shareholder return strategy similar to Apple's. Apple spends nearly all of its free cash flow on share buybacks. Nvidia intends to return approximately 50% of its free cash flow this year through dividends and buybacks, with management indicating that this proportion may expand over time. The strategy indicates increased confidence in the company's capacity to generate cash while rewarding long-term shareholders. Aside from hardware, Nvidia continues to profit from its CUDA software platform, which has contributed to a strong competitive position in AI model training. The next hurdle will be to demonstrate that CUDA remains equally effective in AI inference, which is the process of running learned AI models. This field is becoming increasingly competitive. Cerebras Systems claims that its integrated hardware and software platform outperforms Nvidia's inference performance. At the same time, Alphabet and Amazon are creating unique AI chips for external customers while also purchasing Nvidia processors for their own AI infrastructure. The development reflects an increasingly complex competitive landscape in which some of Nvidia's largest clients are also becoming rivals. To match Apple's long-term durability, Nvidia may need to expand its ecosystem beyond enterprise AI infrastructure. Its growth into consumer PCs and, eventually, robotics could contribute to the creation of a more integrated hardware and software environment that fosters customer loyalty, comparable to Apple's tightly connected product portfolio. Successfully developing such an ecosystem could reduce customer switching while opening up new revenue streams beyond data centers. On Thursday, Nvidia's shares extended their recent decline. The stock briefly surged above $200 after opening higher, before reverting course. Despite maintaining one of the leading benefactors of AI-related investment, Nvidia fell behind other semiconductor businesses in 2026. The semiconductor industry has seen significant improvements in the first half of the year. The VanEck Semiconductor ETF gained more than 70% in the first 6 months of 2026, its best first-half performance since the fund's inception in 2000. Following the surge, several major semiconductor stocks saw profit-taking. Investor interest has also shifted to other sectors of the AI supply chain. Memory chip manufacturers have profited from supply limitations and rising demand, while CPU businesses have gained traction since next-generation agentic AI systems are expected to require much more computing resources. Micron has emerged as a major beneficiary of the memory cycle. Advanced micro devices and Intel have also benefited as investors predict more CPU demand and further AI infrastructure expansion. Despite ongoing demand for Nvidia's graphics processors, increased investor interest has made the investment landscape more competitive. Despite its modest 3% increase in 2026, some investors believe Nvidia might perform substantially better in the second half of the year if AI spending continues to accelerate into 2027. Nvidia is now trading at around 21.5 times forward earnings, which is roughly in line with the S&P 500. In the preceding 2 years, the company's valuation had risen to more than 40 times anticipated earnings by year-end. Supporters of the stock suggest that continuing AI infrastructure investment may support a higher valuation if investors begin to factor in planned spending after 2026. Whether Nvidia can regain momentum will likely be determined by its ability to maintain technological leadership, defend its software ecosystem, expand into new consumer markets, and demonstrate that long-term AI demand remains stable amidst intensifying competition in the semiconductor industry.